These are not your usual tips, all right? Things that you haven't probably never heard of to help you grow your chest, all right? If you're someone that's been going to the gym, you don't see any results, you're pressing heavy, you're going to the gym, you're doing the craziest chest days, but still you don't see results, this video is for you. First thing first that I want to tell you, I see a lot of people when they're pressing, they're doing their pressing movement, the lower back is coming off of the pad. All right, so let's say you're benching and the lower back comes off just like this. You look like a duck, you know? That's not the way you wanna be benching, all right? Because you're taking a lot of stimulus out of that chest. So get the lower back, engage your core, get the lower back on that bench. Make sure that your lower back is touching the bench, and trust me, you'll feel your chest so much more. All right, so get that lower back on that bench. That's the first thing. We tend to hear chest up, and then back, shoulder back and down, chest up, and then the lower back comes off. All we're doing is basically moving our front delts, and most of the time our scapula is locked. I don't want to get into the specifics, but your chest stimulation is not getting the range of motion and the stimulus that it needs. Put that lower back on that bench and let your shoulders move more freely. So also don't hold the chest back and the shoulders back and down. Holding shoulders back and down is not ideal, guys. It limits the range of motion of your scapula, all right? It will create a lot of issues down the road. It compresses your muscles, and now it can lead to nerve injuries. It's just not ideal. And yes, you might lift heavier because you have your shoulder back and down like a power lifter and your butt is off the bench and you're just lifting heavy, but who cares about the weight? So stop putting your shoulders back and down, all right? Let your shoulders move freely, all right? Even when you're doing your push-ups, your chest press, squeezing the shoulder back and down, it's not a good cue. It's not a good cue. It can have its benefit, its time and place for some things, but I see a lot of guys overdoing that cue and always holding the shoulder back and down, and it's limiting the range of motion and the chest stimulus that they should be getting, all right? So let your shoulder fall in freely, all right? Let your shoulder fall in freely as you're pressing. Number 3 is do your push-ups. A lot of people neglect push-ups. They want to press heavy. They want to go on that bench press, the incline press. They want to lift those heaviest weight, but they're not even mastering the push-ups. Make sure that you know how to do the push-up correctly. Make sure that you know how to engage your chest when doing the push-up. All right, if I told you engage your serratus anterior, that's like the front of your lats. Make sure that that serratus anterior and your shoulders is in a nice position as you're doing your push-up, because if you're holding your shoulder back and down, my brother, I'll tell you, you're not even doing a push-up. You're doing kind of a reverse shrug. You're shrugging your shoulder back and down, squeezing that shoulder back and down, and your chest is barely getting anything. You're gonna be feeling your triceps, maybe your shoulder, but you're not doing much for your chest, all right? Stop squeezing shoulder back and down and learn and master the push-up before doing anything else. Moving on. The incline press is not better for your upper chest than the bench press. I'm sorry. But guys, the flat press is not just for the mid chest. There's nothing like, oh, this is upper chest, lower chest, mid chest. It's all BS, all right? The upper incline press is not gonna do more upper chest than doing a barbell flat bench press, all right? That's just the reality. You can get away with just doing barbell flat press and a fly movement, and your chest will be full and complete. There's no such thing as, okay, I'm just gonna isolate the upper, I'm just gonna isolate the lower. No, the more incline, the more shoulders that you'll do, and you'll be hitting more front delts. Maybe you'll, I don't know. No, your chest works as a whole, and no, I'm sorry. All right, one thing that I will say is that if you're doing dips, yes, you might be working a little bit more kind of, it's not, I wouldn't even call it the lower chest, but you're doing dips, you're working a little bit differently, but it's just about the movement where your arms are going. But at the end of the day, guys, your chest is squeezing, all right? Even if you're doing flies as opposed to doing presses, it's not always that much of a difference, to be honest, all right? Flies, you're isolating your chest a bit more. You have less shoulders and triceps engaged. But all this, 2 exercises for the upper, 2 exercises for the lower, 2 exercise flies, most of it is bullshit, right? You're squeezing your chest. Your chest doesn't know what you're doing. You're squeezing it, you're isolating it, or you're doing it in a compound lift, all right? So don't think that if you're lacking the upper chest, now it's just upper chest. No. A lot of people, by doing bench press, they'll build their upper chest, all right? Moving on, stop pressing heavy weight. Stop pressing heavy weight, but rather keep that weight under tension. All right, we're not powerlifting. We're not trying to be powerlifters. We're doing more sets of 8, 10, 12, even sometimes 15. So going for those PRs and taking 5-minute break will not build your chest. All right, doing 3 plates for 1 rep is not better than doing 225 or even 175, but a pause rep, squeezing and contraction with a good time under tension, and making sure that you're engaging and stimulating the muscle you're trying to work. So stop trying to go heavy, but rather stimulate and make sure that you're getting that muscle to failure. All right, keep that chest under tension. What matters the most is time under tension. It's not the weight. Stop getting caught on in the weight you're losing. All right. Another thing that I want to mention is don't bench press first. Don't bench press first. Do an isolation exercise. Do something to activate it, pre-exhausted. Turn it on. Turn on that chest. All right. Maybe do a fly movement just for 3-4 sets. Get that blood in your chest before you go on the compound lifts. Because if you go right away to the compound lifts, I'll tell you, you're not going to feel your chest as well as doing some flies first. And now your chest is turned on. That mind muscle connection is on. And boom, now you go on the presses. You feel it better. And you lower the risk of injury. So pre-exhaustion. Okay, that's important. And I'll add my own little touch, which is do push-ups after each chest set. Man, every time I finish a chest set, I'll jump to the floor and I'll do push-ups to failure. And trust me, I'll get my chest to failure. My chest is screaming after those sets of push-ups. And on push-ups, I can go to failure as opposed to going on failure on a bench press where the risk of injury is so much higher. In my regular chest workout, I'm doing like easily 300-400 push-ups. All right, and I've got I've got a pretty good chest, all right? That's all I can say. And if I can attribute it to one thing is the volume that I do. I do pretty high volume, but it's not high volume on exercises that are stressful on the nervous system, but I do a lot of push-ups. I finish with like 8 sets of push-ups to failure, all right? Why do you think prisoners are jacked? A lot of them do a lot of push-ups, pull-ups, dips. That's pretty much it, all right? So see you guys soon. Leave a like, leave a comment, or I'm going to stop posting. All right, I want you guys to like it, to comment, because you're gonna help me, man. The only way I can get that channel going is if you help me. So if you like that video, put the emoji of salt. Then I'll know that you watched till the end and that you're a real one that is supporting me. And I'll see you guys soon. Ciao. And like it, guys. Just a like, just a comment. Those things can go a long way. You might be like, hey, well, yeah, I just watched that video. Hey, if you learned something, maybe it's the tip about, I don't know, keeping your lower back on the pad. Maybe this thing was helpful for you. Well, help me by helping me get that thing going, Like, if one thing was helpful for you, if nothing was helpful, don't comment. I get you. But if you learned one little thing, do that. Maybe you can learn that the mocha pot is the best way to make coffee. All right, so that's it. See you guys soon.